In episode 132, and welcome into the Benches Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who sucked last week and went 2-5.
And I'm David Contreras, representing the Dodgers, who did not suck last week, and they went 6-1.
Just 6-1.
That one, man, that one still bothers me.
Yeah, I'm over here reading "Don't Kill Me" books. Yeah, I am in the closest thing to Dodger Blue that I have.
And why is that, Jesse? What happened? What's going on?
Because Dave was like, "Hey, it'd be funny." Because this is how his text read to me. "Hey, it'd be hilarious. It'd be great if we do some sort of bet, and whoever loses just wears the colors of the other team." And I haven't done the math exactly, but I believe the Dodgers won the series against the Giants, so that's why I'm wearing.
They barely squeaked
the closest
it out.
Thing I got.
I love it. I love it. Maybe we'll go brighter and more bluer next time. Who knows?
Yeah, well, blue is not slimming like black is, so I need all the help I can get. But yeah, we're going to talk about this Giants-Dodgers series a little bit later. We're not going to go out of order. And speaking of not going out of order, we're going to go around the league, and something that happened pretty much right after, on opening day, the day we released the pod, so we didn't talk about it. It's kind of old, but I feel like we still got to talk about it. I need to talk about this Rhys Hoskins and Jeff McNeil situation, Dave. You saw it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about it?
I thought it was a hard slide, clean hard slide. I think McNeil whines a lot. I mean, this is not the first time or the last time he's going to whine about something. But I did take exception with the fact that, like, if you're going to argue with someone, if you're going to slide hard or whatever, and someone's standing up to you, stand up to them right then and there. Hoskins waited till he was back in the dugout to make faces and then acted all like, which whatever. It was nothing. It was just a hard slide, and it should have left it at that. But he took exception to it, and then they try to bean him the next game. But I had a problem with it. I mean, if the guy's owning you, he hits a home run, he's scoring runs on wild pitches, he's, just owning you. Maybe you don't try to hit him late in the game when it's already, the game's almost close to over. Like, what's the message there? Like, you look worse. What do you think?
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like if something happens at the beginning of the week, and if I keep hearing the same take that I feel like that I have, even though maybe I want to talk about it and surround the league. I mean, if it's one of our teams, obviously we're going to talk about it. But I think I'd leave it alone. I feel like half of what you said, 100%. I don't mind the Rhys Hoskins slide. I don't think it was a hard play. I don't think it was dirty at all. And I think that, the wah thing, great if you're willing to do the wah thing while someone's in your face. You can't be cool Wang guy in the dugout. So I 100% agree with you there. My only thing is, so I don't mind them even throwing at Rhys Hoskins. I don't mind the slide. I don't mind, because the thing is on Rhys Hoskins' slide, even though it was technically legal and it was a hard-nosed play, still clean, it did kind of, he cleated Jeff McNeil on one leg, and then he kind of hyperextended his knee a little bit. Maybe I'm just having trauma with my ACL situation here. But that he can potentially he could have got hurt even though it was a clean slide, right? Accidents happen. It is what it is. So I don't mind them throwing at him, trying to protect their guy.
But are you protecting him?
Yeah, because it's also saying, okay, well, if you're going to try to run at my guy, you're going to try to break up the double play. You might also, and you do it to a point where it can hurt my player. I'm going to hit you in the back. I mean, yeah, you don't go at their head, but
don't
make you think
send
twice.
That message? Don't you send that message in the very first at bat? Like, this guy's
100%.
already beating you. Like, the
100%.
game's already over. Like,
it should have been done earlier.
Salty.
I would agree with you there. It should have been done earlier for sure.
You should have hit him early in the game, hit him in the leg or in the thigh, whatever, and then
in the
just
ass,
move on.
whatever. Yes, but
and then move on.
Yes, 100%. So I I don't mind all of it. I think all of it's a part of baseball and the policing of baseball and players trying to police themselves. So I don't really mind. I don't. The only thing I mind with Reese Hoskins did is doing the wham in the dugout when Jeff McNeil was in your face. You had the chance to tell him what you thought. You had the chance to tell the Mets what you thought when they threw at you, when they started kind of walking at you, and then you did nothing. So I mean, in a way,
I mean, but does he have to say anything? I mean, the very next day he came into the game and then just like told
if
them
you
what
have
he
a
thought of
problem
them
with
with
it,
the
yeah,
bat.
yeah, you do. You
So
can't be silent, and then when you get asked by reporters, say you had a problem with it. If you had a problem with it, tell the guy that did it. So I don't know. That's the only bad look I think. Jeff McNeil, yeah, I think he was a little emotional about the slide or whatever. But at the same time, when you feel your leg go that way and you get spiked, I don't know. Even though it's clean, I think he thought it was dirty. So that part I disagree with. But I don't have a problem with him getting mad and getting in his face like, "Don't you fucking do that again?" Well, like I don't see that being a problem at all.
I mean,
So
you're allowed
except
to
for him
break
getting
up a double
butthurt.
play as
Hmm?
long as
Yeah,
you're near the base, you're allowed to break up a double play, and he just didn't like that. He got hurt in the process.
right, exactly. And you can have because at the end of the day, that's how he makes his money. He wants to play baseball, so he doesn't want to get hurt. So I have no problem with him being upset about it.
The
But
problem is that he's slid like that before,
uh,
and like you can't really. But whatever.
exactly, exactly.
It's a non-issue. They'll move on and whatever. It's a nice
Yeah,
little
I'm
story
sure
for a
by
couple of
by
days.
midseason it'll be fine. But I just thought it was really weak. The wah, which is a good line, if you're willing to wah in dude's face, not wah
Yeah.
in your safe space in the dugout with all your friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think they both had a little wrong in it, and I'm like, it shouldn't have been anything. Should have
Hmm.
just gone up, gone to the dugout, and that's it. Let's move on. But whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, I think at this point, what can you do? They'll be over it. But speaking of people being in the wrong, how do you feel about the Sacramento A's for a couple years?
I, that fan base, it's a poor fan base, man. Like it's
Yeah,
messed up. People are always like, well, they haven't supported the team. I'm like, but when the owner doesn't put money into the team, how can you go and support something? Like you're giving money back to the owner for him not doing his job.
right,
So I understand it, and I understand that it sucks. It's good for the people of Sacramento who are going to get to go see some games,
right.
and it'll be fun for them. It'll be cool. But the real losers are the fans in Oakland, and it really really sucks. If it was my team that was leaving, I'd feel awful, man. So I don't know how I can feel any joy for them going to like, oh, it'll be good for the team. Yeah, but they leave my city.
Right. And the question is where do A fans go from here? Do they follow the team to Las Vegas or are they hurt so much where they because they're even talking about expansion to possibly another California team. Do you just wait for that? Do I know Rob Manfred said, "Oh, they could just be Giants fans." I would imagine
Is there
maybe
a, is there
1% would do that.
Is there a
And it's
commissioner who says more wrong things than Rob Manfred? Is there any other like this guy always says the wrong thing at the right
right.
time?
Right.
Jesus.
I just don't know. Like, and he's nowhere to be found in the situation. I haven't heard anything from him. Um, yeah, you just feel bad for A's fans, and it's like, where do you go from here? Because you could get mad at ownership, you can get mad at players, you can get mad at GMs. For the most part, ownership pretty much stays around, so it's pretty rare when that switches over. But GMs and certain player, they're rotating, so you're not
Yeah.
you don't lose your fandom to that team. But when it's something this crazy, moving and the way they're moving, because I mean, A's fans showed up when the team was good. If you're not going to put any money into the product and your bet, you can't get mad at
And then the
Oakland fans for
stadium
not
is
showing
and then
up.
the stadium's not the best stadium in the world either. So it's like you can't really
Dude,
fault them for a lot of that stuff. Like I wouldn't want to go either.
no, I went to the Coliseum one time. They tried to sell me a hot dog bun as a side.
Oh my God.
I went to, I was like, in my section, I went to go to this barbecue spot, and I was like, I think I got like a tri-tip sandwich or something, and I was like, oh, it's either fries or bread, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's barbecue, maybe it's cornbread, you know? So I'm like, hey, what's the side of bread? And he's like, hot dog bun. And I was like, no, 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 not what the tri-tip sandwich comes on. I'm talking about the side. If I don't want fries, what's that side of bread? And he gave me one of the. He looked at both sides and went, hot dog bun. I was like, you're trying to give me a hot dog bun? This is crazy. This is
That
crazy.
is wild.
So, but I mean, yeah, they definitely deserved a new stadium or at least an updated stadium. I don't know. They're
And
getting
then
screwed, and I just don't know if that kills baseball in Oakland or I don't know. Maybe in a couple years they do expand and Sacramento gets that team, and who
it's
knows?
just bad all around, man. Because then their owner came out. There was an interview where he came out, didn't take any questions. He just said like a thing, and he
Of
was more
course.
excited. He was more excited about like, oh yeah, you guys get to see Aaron Judge and all these other. He didn't name his own players. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm like,
No.
dude.
So you're saying it's weak when when the controversy happens and someone doesn't take questions? Is that what you're saying? That's weak?
No, I'm saying like they've turned off their
Oh.
comments on Twitter. I've never
Okay.
seen a team turn off their comments on Twitter
Okay.
ever. I don't
I'm
think
just
maybe for a post, but not the whole season.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
dangerously close to talking crap about Shohei Ohtani right there.
Dangerous.
And I think it does affect the Giants a little bit because it's going to be I believe that's the Sacramento River Cats field if I'm not mistaken. Or am I crazy? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I don't know if they're just gonna move their games around those home games and they're gonna share a stadium, or if what's gonna happen with the Sacramento River Cats. But or maybe it's a different stadium. Maybe I read it fast. I don't know. I don't know what the Sacramento River Cats stadium is called. To be honest with you, does that make me a bad fan? I don't know. Maybe, but doubtful. But I don't know. That's also a weird dynamic. We'll wait till that unravels, and maybe their AAA
Yeah.
team is going to get moved. Who knows?
Yeah. So
Or if
we're
you're
not in
looking for a
favor of it.
place,
Are we not in favor
Giants.
of the move or what?
I'm just saying, if the Sacramento River Cats AAA team needs somewhere to play, Lancaster Jethawks. They were one of the minor league teams I kicked out. I'll put in a good word for you, City of Lancaster. What's up?
Hey, you heard it here first. Jesse will put in a good word in for you guys.
You
So,
got it. I'll make it happen.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We're making
Yep.
deals. We're making deals. We're gonna make it happen.
So,
Deals.
are we gonna talk about it now?
We're
Can
gonna
we
talk
move
about
on? Can we
deals.
bring on the pain? Because
We
I've
can
been
bring
waiting.
it. What?
I was, because I believe someone predicted that their bullpen was gonna be just, chef's kisses and the best one in the National
Okay,
League. And
that's where we're going. I didn't know we were going there. I thought we were going somewhere else, but that's where we want to go. Okay, yeah. It's way too early. A way too early critique of predictions.
no, no,
A
it's not. It's not. Because if
way
your
too
team,
early.
if you had swept the Dodgers, you would have been over the moon. You would have said this team's winning the World Series. But now
Exactly.
it's starting to get late really early for you guys.
Late, really early. It's a good
And
line. Yeah, I said the Giants bullpen was going to have a 3 ERA. They are the third worst ERA in baseball at this moment. But you know what? The bullpen usually starts a little slow. Okay, I'm not throwing away the prediction. I'm just saying looks pretty bad right now.
I
Well,
love the fact that the Dodgers are like equal opportunists because they're like, hey, we got one of the Rogers, we got to get the other one too. We can't leave them
mm,
behind. And they got, both of them gave up huge bombs, just majestic, beautiful bombs.
yes, I was unfortunately there for both of them. Yeah, so I don't know. Tyler Rogers usually starts the year off a little slow. Plus, he has a hard time with the Dodgers for some reason. He usually like kills the rest of the league, but the Dodgers usually end up getting him for a little bit. So, I don't know. Am I worried about him? Not really, but I don't know. That's definitely my prediction. That's looking the dumbest so far. How are your predictions looking?
Not great. Not great. I did say that Shohei was going to lead the league in home runs, and he has one.
Mm.
So, I mean,
And that's
obviously,
another thing too. You put something out on the Twitterverse. I guess just on all of our social medias about who's going to hit a home run, and you predicted Shohei Ohtani,
Dave
and he did hit a home
Stradamus.
run. Um, I'm not sure that's that impressive, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I understand you call the home run, but at the same time, it's Shohei Ohtani's. I would have been really impressed if you would have called a Miguel Rojas home run. That would have been
But
impressive.
that's not like that's not impressive because we knew he was gonna hit. Like that all he does is hit. Shohei, this new kid, nobody knows of him.
That's true.
He has everybody, wants him to fail for some reason,
Yeah.
Poor
And
kid has the pressure.
apparently, he hit his first home run ever last night. Um,
Worth over $5 million or something like that, I think.
I don't know. This girl, I feel so bad for this girl. It's so funny too because I think her Twitter handle is something about sugar tits or something. Um, I feel so bad for her because I'm sorry, I've never heard of so many people caring. Like I'm sorry, I know the team is excited for Shohei's first home run in a Dodger uniform. I've never heard of that being valuable. Any other player, I understand Shohei's a different player. I get it, but I did not know that when he does something like that, that ball would be worth a lot of money. So I feel so bad for the girl who just high of her life gets a home run ball. Have you ever caught a home run ball?
No,
Okay, we've been
haven't been
going to
lucky enough.
games. uh,
All our
put
life.
put both of
Well,
our fandom together
yeah.
probably over 60 years of going to baseball games. Never got a home. She gets a home run ball, a special one. Who you can't look up how much this thing is going to go for on eBay or whatever on auction. You're just in the moment and you're like, oh, cool. Can I get a couple hats and a bat signed? Cool. Yeah, it's Shohei's ball. He deserves it. He can have it. And you think you're doing this great thing, and then you just get dragged on Twitter for being the dumbest person alive because you didn't know that this thing could be sold for $500,000. Which, first of all, it can't because MLB can't authenticate home runs
Well, I mean, it
because
could
they're
be
not in
sold.
possession of
So,
it.
I mean, it's only worth what somebody will pay for it, first of all. So,
Right, right.
and secondly, like we've been waiting for his home run for what, like it's now 8 games or whatever, something like that,
Mm.
9 games. Come on, it's the golden ticket. How do you not know you have the golden ticket though? Like, come on, they've been anticipating it and it happens. How do you not ask for the farm? Like, sure, they may not give it to you, but then you settle for something a little less and you get something good. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, can I just have a ball? And like, yeah, of course. No, I'm just,
She didn't just get a ball though. She got two signed hats
no, no,
and
no.
a
I know,
signed
I know.
bat.
She didn't, but what I mean, just I wouldn't say that myself. It's like this is your golden opportunity. It's never gonna happen again. It's once in a lifetime. How many times are you gonna catch Shohei's first home run with his new team?
Okay. But who knows that that's valuable, right? There's no other player where it's talked about like this.
I
Albert
mean,
Pujols, when he had his first home run as an Angel, no one was talking about, oh my gosh, that ball's going to go for this much. And I'll be honest with you, I care way too much about baseball. We do. I do not miss a pitch. I do a podcast about baseball. I watch baseball religiously. I did not know that it would have that value. I'm not saying that she's not as big a fan of me. I'm not trying to go down that route. But what I'm saying is to the average fan, how do you know that's worth that much? That has never happened before in the history of forever. I
okay,
understand.
but
Like, listen, Mark McGuire's
yeah,
record home runs, Hall of Fame, 700 home run. Yes, first home run in a new uniform. People are supposed to know that that thing is that valuable. I don't think that that's common knowledge.
okay, but that's different though because the
Exactly.
this guy has accounts following his every move. Like if this guy breathes wrong, they're on it. Who's his wife? We need to find out who his wife is. Like this is not common for regular stars. Like
She's
you
just a
have
normal
so
Japanese girl,
many.
dude.
It's
Anytime she-
definitely valuable to somebody else. Like it's
I
definitely
un-
valuable to someone.
but that's exactly my point.
But my
It's a
point is
rare
it's
situation, so you have no idea what that market would be. And you're
yeah,
in the
but
moment. It's not like she was able to, hey, let me get a couple of photos. It's not like it's Pawn Stars and they're like, hey,
no no
let
no.
me get a professional come down here and check this out and see what I
I,
can
I
get
think
for it.
I think we both agree in a sense, but it's like I'm not gonna. It's not about the money because at the end of the day, you probably want to give it back to him. But if
Right.
you do want to ask for like a lot. That way you get stuff. Like it's the one time you can ask the Dodgers for something. You know what I
I
mean? Like
I completely understand it.
that's
But at
where
the
I'm coming from.
same
I'm
time,
not talking
I
about the
feel like
money
she got a
part.
good deal.
I would have asked for season tickets. I would
Yeah,
have started for
okay,
season tickets. I would have asked for
I
a signed
get it.
jersey.
It's hindsight is 2020, and I understand that, right? I just feel like, first of all, had no idea that a freaking foul ball for Shohei Ohtani was selling for $15,000. Had no idea. I saw that. I think you reposted on Twitter. I like I had no idea about that. So if someone would have told me that that particular home run ball would go for $15,000, my jaw would have dropped, because it's not like his 300th home run, 400th home run. It's just the first one in a new uniform. Like, I feel like it's not really a big milestone. So, in my opinion, would I rather have a Shohei Ohtani home run in a first uniform, or a signed Shohei Ohtani bat hanging on my wall? I'd get the signed bat.
I
And she
mean,
got two hats and a bat. Am
at
I
the end of the
stupid?
day,
Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe
no,
I'm just crazy.
I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day,
Thank you.
she got more than any of us, than anybody who's commenting anything. Like she went in there to watch a game, and she came out of there with the signed ball. What is it? Hats and a bat, I think. So she left with a lot more than she came in with. So good for her.
I just feel bad. She's getting dragged on Twitter pretty hard. I mean, as Dave Chappelle said, Twitter is not a real place, and I get it. But at the same time, people are like, I've seen tweets that are like, this bitch is so stupid. I'm like, dude, she just caught a ball and got something cool for it. Like,
I
why?
feel like
Why
she
am
was
I getting
happy with
dragged?
I feel like she was happy with what she got. And then the public court of Twitter turned on her, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I kind of wasn't happy, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get her
Is
on
that
here
is that the story?
so she
Is
can
she
give
not
us
happy with it
her
now?
personal story."
Is,
What's
is she
up?
not happy with it now?
Uh, the story on the Athletic is that like they cornered her and they pressured her to take that deal,
Well,
and
they everyone pressures. I mean, like, it's usually like a first home run ever, like a top prospect, or even just any prospect. The first home run, they always try to be like, hey, they always try to get them to give the ball back, because players want that sort of thing.
yeah.
Um, That's the first time I really heard about keeping a home run ball first time in uniform. That's what's so flabbergasting to me. Um, so I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe we could just get her on the pod. She could tell us what happened. Who knows?
Exactly.
You could work
And
your
I,
Twitter, Tom, and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, if she hears this, what is it, Sugar Tits? If you're hearing this, Sugar Tits, we're extending an open invitation so you can tell us your story.
I will not be saying that name out loud, because I'm sure my wife is in the is in the next room, and if I'm here and like, we giving shout outs to someone named Sugar Tits, I might the pod might end right now, and I might be in trouble. But yeah, feel bad
I
for her.
mean, unfortunately, this is what the Dodgers signed up for, man. Like they got Shohei, they know that everything is going to be a big story. Like this should not
Is that
been
where we're
that big.
going? You're
This should
going the
not have been
Mookie
a big
Betts route
story.
right now.
It shouldn't have been. Honestly, it's like a nothing story. It's cool. She got stuff and like it's nothing on her. It's just like they're making it a big deal. Like
I'm
I
sorry.
just
This
don't
should
get
be a
it.
nothing story. It should. I'm sorry. A first home run in a new uniform shouldn't be worth this much money. If someone does sell it for that much money and they get their money, cool. I'm not hating at all. But I'm just saying,
I
if
feel
someone
like
was a
part of me is
hey,
being a hater, and I need
if
to
someone
defend
was
it because
like came up to me, listen to me. If someone came up to me and was like, hey, look, before anyone else gets the chance on it, $1,000 for Shohei's first home run in a Dodger uniform, I'm like, I'm good. And apparently, you could sell for 500,000. So,
okay, but so who's your favorite player on the Giants? Let's just put it that way.
favorite player right now.
Or let's say it was Buster Posey, and it
Mm,
was his first home run,
first home
right?
run ever? Okay, maybe a
Well, I
thousand.
mean, it's kind of different because I can't compare it. He never
Exactly.
went to another
So it would
team,
have to
but
be someone who signed, but it has to be. So maybe Jung Hoo Lee's first home run. Would that?
maybe. But that's kind of different because he doesn't have the same impact yet. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like he doesn't have that.
I could see myself paying $500 for Jung Hoo Lee's first home run if it was authenticated and I can display it. I can't see myself spending $1,000 on it. and I kind of collect stuff a little bit. I
Yeah.
have a couple of signed hats. I've shown up to a couple places to get some signatures, to get some signed hats, so I can display them in my setup, which will happen at some point. But I don't know. I'm not a crazy collector though, so
Yeah.
maybe that's me being stupid saying these words out loud. But to
I feel
me,
like there's a limit always, at least for me.
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
And then, of
But
course, unless I come into a crazy amount of money, maybe I'll be like, $1 million for it. Fuck it, let's go.
yeah, I'll pay for the Shohei ball right now. Yeah.
But you know what? It's a pretty historic time, Dave, because this is the first time in this season we get to talk about actual baseball. We get to go over, and we're done around the league. We're done talking about Shohei's dumb home run.
Oh, we're
We got
not
to
done
talk
yet.
about
I'm
some
sure
actual
it'll pop
games.
up again.
Nah, I think we're done. I don't think we're ever going to mention this guy again. So let's talk about these series, man. We got to talk about actual games. The reason why we are fans, the reason why we get why we get up in the morning, right? We get to watch these games and we get to go over them. So
It's just something nice about having baseball back, man. Like you can turn on the MLB network or your app or whatever, and it doesn't matter who's playing. It's just nice to see a game. It's that time of year where it's just yeah, and everybody has a chance still, no matter how you start. So it's that time of year where everything is good so far.
so you're telling me there's a chance. All right, I
Sure.
like that. Well, let's talk about these series. And you know what? I'm talking, so I'm gonna go first. Why not? Let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah, go
about this
for it.
opening series. Giants, Padres. It was a good time. Um, I had opening day off, got to hang out and chill out, hang out with my son, watch some baseball. Game didn't go so well though. Padres series, game one, Logan Webb gives up 2 runs in 6 innings. Really saw. I mean, you can't really expect much more, especially on a first start of the season. He's not going to really go too deep. Luke Jackson blows the lead, leaves with a back injury. But who knew that Nick Ahmed is just the man? I mean, why are we worried about the shortstop position when we have Nick, the best player in baseball, Ahmed? He had a big game. Michael Conforto gets the first big knock, but Giants fall short with a blown bullpen. Game two, Kyle Harrison looked dominant, but did give up 2 solo shots. Matt Chapman with a 2 home run day because I don't know, maybe he's the best third baseman in baseball. Who knows? I don't know.
I
Maybe
saw
I
a
do
couple
know.
of pass balls during this series,
No,
but yeah, go.
I don't think that was him. John Cooley gets his. He looks like he's just adjusting really well to the new league on
Let
both
me
sides of the ball.
let me interject here really quick,
Interject.
and it might pain some Dodger fans, but and I hate myself for saying this, but
I hate you too.
I really like Lee.
Mm,
He just seems I don't know. I like him. He ran straight into a wall to try to catch a ball during that series,
hmm
which we'll get to, but I think you guys got a good one, man.
I think so too. In all honesty, with when it comes to a signing like that too, sometimes things look like an overpay, and then they look good. And I feel like this one looked like an overpay to get him to play, in a big ballpark. But it's looking really good so far. I mean, knock on wood,
Yeah.
first week of the first two series of the year, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And speaking, what I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, game three, Jordan Hicks. I mean, Dylan Cease who outdueled Dylan Cease, who's supposed to be the man. Jordan Hicks just pumping 97, and then he got a little like towards the end of the fourth inning, started pumping 100. Get me going. And then
Who does he
John
think
Hooley
he
hits
is?
his
Tyler
first home
Glass
run.
now?
Say what?
Who does he think he is? Tyler Glass now?
Yeah, Tyler Glass now wishes he was Jordan Hicks.
Right.
Imagine. John Hooley's first home run, and then Michael Conforto. I mean, we were talking about how Jorge Soler is going to be the guy who hit 30 home runs. Maybe it's Michael Conforto who already has 3 on the year. And after game 3, I'm pretty sure every Giants fan was ready to hang up the NL West division banner. And after game 4, everyone was ready to burn it to the ground because that was just a pecker slap. Jolton Jeffries, the good story, gets the start and also gets destroyed. The game got ugly quick. It was one of
That
those. I
game
mean,
was
I'm never
yeah.
one to turn off a game. but I became very close. Like I said earlier, Giants bullpen is not off to a good start. ERA at 7.46 on the year so far, but
You
hey,
guys, what
split the
one?
series.
Oh, you split it. Yeah, and I
Split the
personally love that.
series.
I love that because I need you guys to just beat up on each other. That's fine with me.
Right.
You
I
guys
was
beat on.
I was convinced that we were going to go 3 out of 4 after game two, but that's where we are.
Yeah. We had a on the other side, we had a 4 game series with the Cardinals to begin the year, and my
Brandon
God,
Crawford's Cardinals.
yeah, that guy. My God, Mookie is just on fire, man. He came out with like a purpose. I don't know if it's because all the attention is on Otani and like, he's not the main face or whatever, but he is red hot. What does he have like 6 home runs now? And Glass now that first game, he was just filthy. He showed us what he could be. And oh my God. And then as if it couldn't get any better, here comes Bobby Miller with 11 strikeouts the next game. And it was just like, yeah, great call making him the second day starter because that was just chef's kisses. But we were just one Joe Kelly implosion from having another sweep. I believe he gave up like 5 runs in 1 inning. Ugh, it was rough. It was rough.
Mm.
They still almost came back, but they lost that one. And then the Max Muncy bomb for Sunday Night Baseball that he pimped the hell out of. And so I think we took 3 out of 4, which is a good start. But man, just one Joe Kelly implosion from maybe sweeping that series too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just figure that if you wear a mariachi jacket and you crip walk, that you can just pitch your way out of any situation. So that's where I thought we were, but
And then we can talk about the second series.
we don't really need to get into it too much. I mean, some baseball happened and then it ended, so that's pretty much how it happened.
Two teams faced each other. One team refused to win any games, and the other team was
Refu-
happy was happy to oblige and just win all the games. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, in game one, I think Keaton win was very encouraging on the Giants side. I mean, he 5 innings, 3 earned runs with 6 Ks, and one of the best lineups definitely in the game when he's supposed to be your number five, potentially your long man bullpen piece when everyone else is healthy. It's really encouraging, but the bullpen is just bad, and it ended up just being a pecker slapper. Um, I mean, we can talk about all the Mookie hits. We could talk. I don't know. What more do you want to talk about in game one, Dave? What do you want to rub my nose in?
The fact that our number 6 hitter hit a, destroyed a ball to the moon. I don't know
Well,
what the Rogers. Which one was it? Was it Taylor or was it?
in game one, it was
Which one's the
Tyler,
sinker baller?
some
I mean, the
submariner.
submariner.
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, he just lobbed one up there, and he's like, "Thank you, man. I'm gonna send this one to the moon."
Yeah,
So that
and
one,
in all honesty, too, I mean, this is just goes for just a blanket the entire series. But if you would have told me that Max Muncy wouldn't have done shit this series, I'd be like, "Oh, dude, we're in good shape." I
bro,
thought we would at least get a couple wins out of that. But
I kid you not. I had a meme ready to go because I'm like, there's no way that he's not going to get at least one big hit in this series, and I can pop this off.
right,
He had some hits, but they weren't like his usual, huge moonshot home run. So
hmm
I'm gonna save it. Maybe it'll come up for the next series
yeah,
that we play you guys. But
leave it in the drafts.
yeah,
Yeah, I hope it stays there.
number one killer didn't show up, and we still swept. That's gotta feel
It's
bad.
not fun, especially because if you look at game two, I mean, you look at the end score, 5-4, you think it's a close game. But when you look at it, I honestly after game two, it just felt like we got pecker slapped 2 games in a row because you think your ace versus a bullpen game, you're feeling pretty good about it. So I understand baseball is really complicated, and even though you're the best pitcher on a team and potentially one of the best in the league, sometimes certain pitches aren't working. I think it was I'm not sure if the changeup wasn't working or if it was just a chess move to try to, thinking that the Dodgers were going to be ready for a changeup. Whatever the chess move or whatever wasn't working, it backfired. I guess the only takeaway you can take from the Giants side is Landon Root is a monster, is going to be great in this bullpen, and he's not getting sent back down to AAA. Jorge
I,
Soler gets his first home run.
yeah,
And
that game was pretty rough for both sides, man. The umpire was horrible,
okay,
horrible.
yes,
And you know what? I don't know
please
why. I
go
don't know
ahead.
why, but it always seems like every time we face Logan Webb, he gets an umpire that gives him that he's like, yeah, this batter's box,
Right.
that's a strike too. And yet he still managed to lose the game. That is impressive.
um, First of all, it was pretty bad both ways. I get it, and you know what? At the same time, if they're giving it to you, I would live out there. If
That's
I'm a
why I
pitcher and,
don't
and
get.
they're
That's why I don't
it,
understand why Logan Webb just didn't live out there because he was
eh,
getting all those calls. But
I
I mean,
get it.
whatever. Thank you. We
Yeah,
love it. Yeah.
but please, anyone who's listening out there, don't be that guy or girl, or anything in between. Don't be that person that tweets out, pictures of balls and strikes every single game when it's against your team. You just kind of look dumb if it's all like I get if it's really egregious, really big situation, you want to do it every once in a while. I get it. But if it's every game you're complaining, you have a box and the ball's just one out there and you're complaining, gosh, it's most likely going both ways. Quit your
If it's
crying.
if it's one call, sure. But there's a lot. I mean, how does MLB constantly get like the worst umpires? That, and also like I read somewhere, and it's so true. Like these guys have the most fragile egos.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell them anything, or you're out of the game. But they
Yep.
can continue to do a bad job the whole game. It's just crazy.
It's insane. I mean, you also, yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know. I just feel like you're just making so many excuses when it's every single time it's, oh, we would have won if this ball was called correctly. And it's like, dude, it could have been called either way. I mean, you're also doing it on game day where it's just the dots when pitches are, rising and sinking and breaking left, breaking right. There's a little bit of give and take. You got to admit though that when Slater hit that ball, you thought the tides turned at least a little bit.
I
That
thought it was a
fly
tie
out.
game. I thought it was
Well, we would have been up by one. We
yeah,
were
it would have
down
been
by
six.
one, and
It would have been
there was
six
someone on
five or something,
base.
right?
It would have made it 6-5. I
Yeah,
thought right off the bat, I was like, "Oh, we got it."
dude, it's Slater. It's like he does that all the time. Like
Mm,
against the Dodgers, he seems to get a
mm,
big home run against them in those kind of spots.
yeah.
And I was like,
Waiting for him to
God,
get started.
I was like,
I'm a big
damn,
Slater truther, but
I
yeah,
was like, damn, he
mm,
got it, but like I think he just missed it. Like, he might have gotten it
yeah,
off the end of the bat or something. But yeah,
yeah,
we got away with one there.
yeah. We'll wait for Slater or Yastrzemski to get started. I mean, Yastrzemski hasn't had a hit all year yet, so we shall see what happens. Game three was the only game that I felt like was a nail biter back and forth. Obviously, I explained why in game two I felt like it was a picker slap, but that one could have won either way. I felt like. I mean, Jorge Soler's home run should have counted for two. That thing was almost went out of the stadium. Um,
You were there for that
where
game, right?
what's that?
You were there for that game?
I was there. I was there for Monday and Wednesday. Unfortunately,
How cool was that? Like, regardless of the players who are hitting it, but they hit pretty solid shots. First, you get to see Otani, who hits a monster shot, but then like right after that, he just tries to one up him. Is it Jorge Soler? Yeah, he just tried to one up. He tried to hit it out of the stadium. Like,
Oh yeah,
damn.
that was that one. No one even got up. Like I don't even think outfielders even moved.
I
It
don't think.
hit it
Yeah,
and it
that
was
thing
just
was like it was like right
yeah.
down the middle. It was like 80 miles an hour, or whatever it was, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Thank you, gone."
Right. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's a lot of encouraging things. I mean, you look at Kyle Harrison ended up giving up a lot of runs. Dodgers worked him out for a lot of pitches, but you know, I think when you are trying to get through a lineup and you're trying to go deep into games, and the Dodgers know you are, they're going to work counts and they're going to run up your pitch count. So he had to get out pretty early, beginning of the season. So he can't really. I think Bob Melvin's doing making it pretty clear he's down to stretch out these starters, but
I'm pretty
I
excited
think
about
that kind of made things complicated.
I'm pretty
Um,
excited about those matchups, dude.
Yeah.
I remember we used to see Bumgardner and Kershaw. I think we're gonna get Bobby
Yep.
Miller and Harrison. I think they both
Uh,
have the potential to be like frontline dudes, and those
hmm
matchups are gonna be like you're gonna need to see those.
Yeah, I think
You
for
can
a
just see
while. I
it.
mean, obviously with Glass now being signed, I mean Webb, Glass now, Miller, Harrison.
And if you guys keep
And even
Snell,
Snell's gonna be this year. He's gonna opt out. I mean, hopefully they resign him, but who knows? But I mean, you got Jordan Hicks for 4 years. Hicks and I don't know a quarter of Yamamoto's contract. So uh,
yeah, I mean
I
it was
think
a story of the bullpens because the pitching was really good on both sides.
yeah,
Besides
it
that
was
bullpen game for the Dodgers, which was kind of iffy, but
right. I think so. The Giants scoring as many runs as they did. Um, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you are a Giants fan and you hear that they went to Dodger Stadium and they scored three, four, and four, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, that is great," because you're used to beating the Dodgers. The only time you beat the Dodgers is always 2-0. So I it sucks because it does feel like they got Pecker slapped for 2 games, but at the same time, the offense is starting to go. You feel, at least history shows you that the Giants usually get outs and they can put up zeros on the board. So if the offense stays the way it is, I think they're going to win a lot of games. I know they're under 500 right now. I think, in all honesty, I think this week was encouraging, even though we went two and
I mean
five.
that's a nice spin. And obviously this podcast
Thank
is
you.
based on us like the rivalry.
Delusions.
So I am
Yeah.
definitely gonna enjoy this and savor this for a while because we don't see
Thank
each
you.
other for a long time.
Hmm
And I just know you're gonna, your last memory is of you guys losing to Dillison Lamet. Like he came
Nelson.
here and played hero to close it out. So
When he came out in game 2, I was like, the Nelson Lamet's on the freaking Dodgers? Let's go. We're about to knock this dude.
it was
And we
like
did not.
it was
We
like
really didn't.
Roberts is either gonna look like a genius with this move here, or
Hmm
this game's over and he let it go away, let it get away. But he came through for us.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? We're going to look off the greener pastures. I mean, this week is over. It's done. Put it in the past. Giants just need to go and just smack the Padres. That's what's coming up next. Padres and the Nationals, 3 games for both series. They're both at home, the home openers. You know what? I'm feeling froggy. I'm thinking they're going 4-2 this homestand, whether that be a series win, 2 series wins, maybe 1 series loss and a sweep. I don't know. 4-2. That's what the Giants are going next week.
Who are you
Dave.
playing besides the Padres afterwards? What do you got?
Padres and Nationals.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hmm
I think you guys play the Padres pretty tough though. Like you guys are pretty
Yeah,
like
but let's.
regardless of the rosters, you guys always play pretty even.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's get greedy. I mean, I'm gonna stick with my 4-2. That's my prediction. But let's get greedy. Let's win the Padres series and sweep the Nationals.
Hey, they got some
Have them
pretty
one.
nice young talent over there,
They
man.
do. CJ Abrams on
CJ
the
Abrams,
Nationals is a
yeah.
freaking monster. So
Yeah, and then they got Joey Gallo over there just hitting nukes. So
yeah.
yeah, okay.
He'll hit
I
one
mean,
nuke, but strike out like 10 times. So
yeah,
we'll be good.
for
We'll make it
sure.
work.
But the nuke is going to be on Sports Center, not the strikeout. So
Yeah,
we're not.
exactly. Of course
Yeah,
not.
and we got the Cubs and the Twins. Man, it's going to be a cold road trip for the Dodgers. But I mean, it's going to be they're going to heat up because they're hitting so well, and I predict a 5-1. I'm gonna go for it. 5-1.
You heard it here
And
first. First, the
and the,
Dodgers are going to win 150 games this year.
I didn't even predict that. I remember that I predicted like 105 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, at least 105. The over. We did it based on the overs, and they were like 104 and a half. So
Yeah. I just it's this offense just doesn't quit, man. And I saw that with the Cardinals, and you saw that with the Giants, man. Like, I mean, they weren't behind too much with the Giants, but it's just that offense doesn't quit. So I think if the bullpen can hold up because we are missing some pieces, I think it'll be a nice road trip. It'll be a good one. I don't think they sweep, but I think they might just lose one.
well, we got baseball back, guys, and you got us back. We'll be here every single week, hanging out with you, talking baseball. We're going to be doing some stuff too. be a little more interactive, maybe get on some Twitter space. So make sure you're following, and maybe some Instagram lives. Just make sure you're following us and stay updated on everything we're doing. We're giving away tickets to games. Who knows? Yeah, follow us on Instagram.
Maybe they'll go to a game with us. Who knows? Yeah.
Let's get crazy.
Let's get crazy. Hey,
Twitter.
and if you love seeing Jesse wearing blue, stay tuned in, because he's obviously going to be wearing it again, because we're going to sweep them again, or we're going to win the series again. It doesn't matter. He's going to be wearing blue a lot this season.
I'm blue dabba dee dabba da, and I hate my life. Yes. So yes, follow us on Twitter, Benches Clear P. TikTok, Benches Cleared. Subscribe to us on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform. You know what? Sign up for all the podcasting platforms and subscribe. Help us grow, make this a thing. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Back to our regular day.
And the people who are listening to us, thank you to the loyal listeners, and we hope to bring you more good freaking takes.
That's right.
Or really bad ones.
A little bit of both. Why not?
A little bit of both.
Right. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.